Fishing season is here with the new Bermuda Triangle card reveals. We also got some new ban list information, and we're finally going to move. I'm Mr. Timeleap, and you're watching Cardfight Update.
Stand up! Vanguard!
Hey Cardfighters, welcome back to another Cardfight Update, and today we're gonna cover the last tidbit of news that we're going to get of January. And today, of course, we got some nice reveal streams cards from the Bermuda Triangle trial deck that's upcoming in Japan on February the 14th, also known as Valentine's Day. But we also got some other tidbit information about some other card reveals from the same trial deck throughout the week. And we also got some new information concerning to the ban list for the English format. So before we go into the card reviews for Bermuda Triangle, let's go into the information that was revealed about the ban list and things we can look forward to when we have some upcoming information concerning that. So first off, Bushrod International released an international statement about the ban list and how they're going to do this in the future with their criteria for hitting something. This was already revealed on the Japanese live stream, but we got some more in-depth information, and it was all translated now by Bushrod himself, so we can go into the full picture with these official translations. So first off, they announced the reasoning behind their criteria, and 4 main criteria they use for deciding if a card is going to be banned, restricted, or hit in any kind of way. And these 4 criteria are: 1. Reduces the variety of clans used in tournaments. 2. Greatly lengthens game duration. 3. Will greatly affect many of the future cards under development. And 4. Enables unintentionally interactions that were not intended by the developers that are unpleasant and complicated to deal with. So some of these interactions and these criteria we are already accustomed to or already are familiar with, since they usually hit infinite loops or unfair mechanics that aren't supposed to be used in those kinds of way. But they also clarified some information why they did not hit standard in any kind of way, and this is an interesting thing in my personal opinion, as they officially stated for standard: as there has been a variety of clans used in BCS 2018, there are no changes to the restrictions. So because in the World Championships and in the tournaments leading up to the World Championships, a lot of different clans were played, they decided that not anything needs to be hit as of late. Sure, at the beginning a lot of Oracle Think Tank was present, but as the months passed on and more cards were revealed and more clans were introduced, they suddenly saw a shift in less Oracle Think Tank and more other clans like Shadow Paladin, for example. But they also stated: we will consider restriction once Link Joker and Bermuda Triangle and hence all 24 clans have been released. Next update to card restriction rules will be in July 2019. So these are 2 things that we can take away with this. This might be that when every clan is introduced, there can be a restriction list implementation for standard. I'm not saying it will be the case, but it might be that whenever we get all 24 clans, they are going to look into things to balance it out more or eliminate some unintentional interactions maybe. And also another thing that we saw is the fact that in July we're going to get probably another ban list. So we have to wait about 5 months till we have a new list. And that's quite soon in my opinion, as usually it's like, if we're lucky, we have 6 months, and if we're unlucky, it's 12 months and a whole year. So now, like 5 months later, we probably already have a new ban list, an update to the previous one we just got. So we have to wait and see in July and see what it's going to bring with that. But they also gave some more information why they restricted or unrestricted some cards in Premium. And let's go over the ones that were unrestricted for Gear Chronicle and Grand Blue. And their reasoning is: in the light of the number of Gear Chronicle and Grand Blue decks throughout BCS 2018, these cards are now unrestricted. So this falls in the line of the fact that there is more variety in decks clans that are used in the BCS, and as seen as Gear Chronicle and Grand Blue is very underrepresented in these past tournaments, they decided that these limitations aren't needed for now. And in some case, I agree with this decision, as seen as these clans were definitely not being used anymore that much, and these cards don't really interact that well with the new cards. But at the same time, Mick was banned because of the loop that you can do at end game because of an empty deck that you can stack these triggers, and also defensive play. But the defensive play I do not mind that much. I've seen there's a lot of clans can pump up higher attack numbers above that threshold of 23 nowadays. But the infinite loop at low deck size might be a little bit a tricky thing, as soon as you can now better mill than ever for Grand Blue. So I don't know if that's going to be a deciding factor. Same as for Gear Chronicle. Time Leap isn't going to be that much relevant, as soon as the 11k poke attacks don't do anything against 12 and 30k base, but the interaction of a lot of TikToks and maybe Oratars in the mix can result in some unexpected things that might not be that warranted and not really that desired. Now let's go to the last two cards that were hit to limitation of 1, and that's of course Assassin and Crook, and their explanation to why they hit these specific cards. For Enigmatic Assassin, they stated, there are many clans that are unable to deal with Dark Irregulars combo involving Enigmatic Assassin, and since it will also affect future card development as the core of the combo, Enigmatic Assassin will be restricted. So this card hits a couple of their criteria. One, it doesn't allow for more variety in the tournament scene, as seen as a lot of clans cannot deal with it. And I've seen a lot of people saying, well, you can tag in this card, tag in this card, but a lot of clans cannot tag in those cards, as that will destroy their core mechanic, or they cannot abuse it in a way that they must luckily top deck these things. And that's not a counterplay. A counterplay should be a strategy that you can use in those specific alteration or situations and use them. If it comes down that you need to top deck it in the moment they are going to do that combo, and that combo is going to be live in their second or third turn, then it's not a counter strategy. It's just RNG, and that's not healthy for the game. So if that's your argument for, but everything can counterplay it, that's false in my opinion. And also, Enigma Assassin is quite an issue card for future development, as it allows quite effective multi-attacking potential in a clan that maybe was not designed to have this easy of a multi-attacking. So hitting this thing to 1 of the criteria that it alter and limitate future card design, it's 100% correct in my eyes, and I think was the right decision for this particular thing. And I think a lot of Dark Regular players or non-Dark Regular players that are familiar with this card can basically confirm this as well in that sense. As for Crook, and this is a different one, Bermuda Triangle had a very strong showing in BCS 2018, and in consideration of the upcoming card releases of the clan, Dreamer Crook will be utilized by almost all decks, and since it will also affect future card development, Dreamer Crook will be restricted. So basically it's in the fact that within Bermuda Triangle there won't be a lot of variety in deck composition, as everybody's probably going to use that card, and I can see why, as it enables multi-attacking and it's a very strong stand trigger, but also the fact that it will limitate future development. And that's quite an obvious thing to see, as soon as the card is very unrestricted in some kind of sense, as soon as it doesn't need a kind of keyword or Vanguard name or whatsoever. And in that sense, I think it's a good hit for future card designs, as we haven't seen the new cards out of Bermuda Triangle as of now, as since we only had a couple of releases now. So in that sense, I can understand it. The strong showing in BCS is also quite given, in the sense that Anji has been performing quite well without even any support, and it won Worlds on the Japan side, so that's also something to tell for the deck. But again, a lot of people might argue that Crook isn't a good card to be hit, but unlike NG, for example, that is restricted to herself as a grade 3 or an archetype, Crook is not. But then again, the Stride of Turia, I believe, is also unrestricted in any kind of sense, so you can also make your argument for that card. And also what we've seen in this update information for international side is that the effects of these ban lists is gonna be active from March the 1st. So we have still 1 month of unrestricted NOK shenanigans. It's only from the 1st of March that these new restrictions are gonna be active for official tournaments. So with the ban list news out of the way, let's start about these new Bermuda Triangle reveals that we got in the past couple of days, and also 2 new cards from this week's live stream. So first off, we've got this grade 1 MV Live Lati, and her skill is Auto Rigard Circle. When placed, one of your other units get power plus 5k until the end of turn. So it's basically a booster that can generate 13k power on the turn that it's placed, because she's 8k, she gives 5k away, so that's basically 13k in 1 card. So that's pretty nice, but the only downside is that you cannot put it onto herself. But as soon as the rearguard skill and it states other units, you can give it to your Vanguard. So when you place her, you have always a target to give the 5k away. But depending on your scenario, it might be good, it might be not. It's a fine it's a fine card. It's just a generic beat stick in that sense. It doesn't really do anything besides that, but it generates power, and power is always great. And into a Force Clan, that's even more power. Then we got the Great Freeze of the trial deck also earlier this week, and one of those Great Freeze is Graceful Prayer Emmy, and her skill is auto on Vanguard and Rearguard Circle. When it attacks a Vanguard, if you have 5 rearguards, this unit gets power plus 15k until the end of that battle. So basically she becomes a 28k attacker, either on Vanguard or Rearguard Circle, when you have a full field. That's pretty okay. It's not that strong in the sense that it's very vulnerable against control, and it seems more and more cards and clans get access to control with Link Joker, Dark Regulars, Kagero, Tachikase, Narukami, Gear Chronicle. It might be a little bit hard to get a full field, but if you get it off, you will gain some high pressure attacks without even using any resources, because plus 50k, that's almost like the soul saver numbers you're almost generating. And don't forget, force markers are also a thing, so that's pretty damn good. And she also got a force marker, so it's a good card overall as it works on Vanguard or Rearguard Circle. So pretty damn good. Then we also got the real boss monster of the trial deck even before the live stream, so that was interesting. And she is full appeal Falulu, and she got 2 skills. Her first one is continuous on Vanguard Circle. If you call the rearguard during this turn, this unit gets power plus 5k. So she can become an 80k attacker when you just call something. And it seems we got a lot of power generating in field. That's gonna translate to a lot of power generation. Then her other skill is Act on Vanguard Circle once per turn. Cost, counter plus 1. This unit gets power plus 15k until the end of turn. And if you have 5 rearguards, draw a card. And that's actually pretty good, as seen as you can, if you have a full field, it's counter plus draw a card. So that's always pretty good. But you also can get 15k. And that 15k will also be will always be applicable, as seen as the condition for 5 rearguards is only for the draw effect. It looks a little bit like the other grade 3 with the 15k, but this one is an act ability, not attack, and you have more also some draw ability with it and gain even more power with her other skill. So this is even more power. So it looks like the Bermuda Triangle is just gonna be a very power-centric driven clan that focuses around having a full field. So I'm very curious how they're gonna enable this. But then we also got some card reveals from the stream, and that makes this thing a whole lot more clear how they might be able to generate a full field. So let's get into those 2 cards that were revealed in this live stream. So we got a grade 1, Special Massage Aurora, and her skill is auto on Vanguard the Rearguard Circle. When placed, draw a card, and discard a card from your hand. This ability may only be used by a card with the same card name once a turn. So she got the same restrictions as in the main, that you can only use one of this effect of the same card. So you cannot call 2 cards, 2 of these Auroras, and then draw, discard. You can only use it once. And she basically is a cycle card. And a cycle card is always good in the sense that it's a fine utility card, that it helps with consistency. As you maybe want to draw specific cards for a combo, then this card allows you to go faster through your cards to get access to these specific combo cards. So we need to wait and see what the other cards are going to do to see how effective this card is going to be. And the last card that was revealed was the main card of the trial deck, and they called it the Blaster Blade of Bermuda Triangle in a sense in the live stream, and they were referring to Choco Love Heart Lieselotte. And she got 2 skills, and this is a very interesting card in that sense, because her first skill is continuous from a hand. It can be called as a grade 1. Can be called to Rearguard Circle even when your Vanguard is grade 1. Is grade 2 after being placed. So basically in your hand she may be reverted as to a grade 1, and when you call it onto the field, then she will turn back into a grade 2. So that's quite handy, as this allows for a very fast-paced aggro plays in a force deck. So that can be very dicey in some kind of scenario. And then her other skill that makes this card even more insane is auto on Vanguard or Rearguard Circle. When placed, look at the top card of your deck and call to Rearguard Circle or put it into your soul. This ability may only be used by a card with the same card name once a turn. So again, the same restriction as the main, only be once per turn, but that's logical in the sense that this card is a free +1 on the field or in your soul. And as of late, we haven't seen any kind of cards that use soul, so maybe soul is going to be used for something. But the fact that you can place right to grid 1, call this thing to from your hand to the field, and then check the top 1 and call another card to the field to have 3 attacks on your turn 1 is pretty damn insane. And they even showcases in the live stream that they did this and they still had 6 cards in their hand at the end of the turn. That's pretty damn insane if you think about it. So depending on what we're going to see of the rest of the cards for Bermuda Triangle, it looks like they're very high-powered aggro kind of playstyle with their full field power-upping skills and early superior calling from deck. Also, to end this video off, as I stated in the intro, I'm going to move different places, as this place where I'm usually shooting my videos, this is probably the last time that I'm going to do it here, as I'm gonna build up a new workspace, or it allows me to make videos more effectively and also give me more breathing room in a time space that I can make videos. As with this location, every time that I need to make a video, I need to set up everything in a way that it works out, as most of the stuff are going to be moved away anytime when I work behind the desk, and when I need to shoot the videos, I need to set up the camera, the recording things, all the devices and whatnot. And also, as you can see behind me, I'm working with windows all around me. So basically, when it's going to be nighttime, or the sun is going to be down, or early in the morning when the sun isn't still up, it's pretty damn dark outside. And with that, means that with the lighting inside and the darkness outside, the camera is going to pick up different illuminations and usually make me and everything here pretty damn dark. And you can see it in older videos where I shot some videos when it was nighttime, and you basically couldn't see anything from my face and anything, and the quality really looked terrible in that sense. So to combat that, and also allow me to shoot videos whenever I want, and I'm not restricted to the time that the sun is up or not, I'm gonna move away to basically gonna move my stuff 2 to 3 meters that way with a wall, and I'm gonna set up all different things. You can maybe see it with this, I believe. As you can see, the desk already there, but I need to set everything up. So it allows me to work more effectively. And with that also, I can maybe make some interesting backdrops, as you're now always looking at the windows and get confused, get distracted with all the people washing their cars or not. So many people commenting on the videos like, oh, did you see that guy over there? And so I need to figure out what I'm going to do with those kinds of things, and you're probably going to see a change from the backdrop in about maybe the next video or in a couple of videos, depending on how fast things are going to be transitioned and how smooth everything is going to be. But you will see some changes, so this is a heads up from me to you. Well, with that, I talked about everything that I want to cover in this update video. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about the new Bermuda Triangle card reveals and what this might mean for their future support. Also, we now see the restriction list with more in-depth information, so maybe you have an opinion about that or an interesting take on it, or maybe suggestion of what might be changed for standard as well as for premium when the new restriction list will be hit in July. But I think that's a little bit too early to talk about, but we can always discuss about anything anytime. So let me know in the comments down below what you guys think, and I see you guys in the next videos of whatever I'm gonna make. So I'm Mr. Time Leap, and I see you guys in the next one.